it's Nicole Pierce, and I am here for another Career Conversations with Nicole. I'm super excited. I have a friend of mine on the call. Hi, Kirstie. How are you?
Hi there, Nicole.
So the great thing is Kirstie is from KSU. She's in career planning development / Coles. She wears like 100 different hats. So please tell the students what all you can help them with.
So as Nicole said, I am one of the career coaches with career planning and development that is assigned to Coles. And so I meet with students who want to know things like, what can I do with my major? How can I explore some future career options? How can I really promote myself in the best way using resumes and LinkedIn profiles and things like that? And, also I talk a lot about the best ways to kind of search for jobs and how they can really make sure they're looking at all the great opportunities available to them.
I love it. Yes, no, she is such a great resource. Students, go make an appointment with her today. But let's get to the topic. So the topic for today is how to get the most out of Handshake. And honestly, before this was important, but now with us not being on campus and you not getting to meet employers in person, I think that Handshake is going to be like gold for these students. So we'll dig right in. What is Handshake and why should a student use it? And if students don't know what Handshake is, I am sad for you, but Kirstie's going to tell us all about it.
Yeah, so new students maybe don't know exactly what Handshake is, but Handshake is basically our all-in-one career platform. And so we utilize that not only to advertise jobs that are available, but also let students know about events and give them a way that they can promote themselves and their skills. It's intended to be a place where students can meet employers, right? And so that students can connect also with our career office here at KSU. One reason why students should get on there is that it is a job board for KSU. And what I mean by that is that we allow employers that we approve to come in and post a position. And anything that you see on Handshake has been something that an employer is saying either directly, I want a KSU student or alum, or they're saying, I need a college student. I'm going to target these local colleges so that we can get the best student over there.
Oh, I love it. Well, okay, so let's find out. Okay, now I know what Handshake is. I want to use it, but how do I find it? Where is Handshake? Is there an app? Do I do this online? If I was a student, how do I get to it?
They would just type in kennesaw.joinhandshake.com, and that will take them to the site. They also can click on our career planning and development website, which is careers.kennesaw.edu. And we have links on there for a student to get on to Handshake.
Awesome. And is there an app that they can download to their phone, or was I dreaming that?
Yeah, there is definitely an app, so it can make life a little bit easier for you on the go to use the Handshake app, which you can download from your app store.
Awesome, cool. Okay, so can you explain uploading your resume and why that's super important and kind of like the process and steps around that?
Yes, so when you get ready to apply to a job on Handshake, you will be able to utilize an uploaded resume for that. Without a resume on Handshake, you might see a job and say, oh, I want to apply to it, but then you will not be able to. So that's one reason why it's really important to upload it. The other reason is that after you upload it into the system, some member of our staff is going to be able to review that and make sure they give you kind of a really high level review. And what they're doing is making sure there aren't any major errors on there. Did you write your degree correctly? Do you have any spelling errors, any grammar errors? So they check for things like that. So we want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, and that's why we provide that. This usually takes about 24 hours, sometimes a lot less. Sometimes it could take just a little bit more depending on how many people are uploading all at the same time, like, for example, the day of the career fair. Yeah. So I do recommend that you try to upload that as soon as possible.
Awesome. Okay, that's fantastic. Well, so let's go to the next question, which is explain what else you should do in Handshake to complete your profile. So we said upload your resume. That's definitely step one. But what else should they do to complete their resume or their profile, and why is it important? All those good things.
So yeah, we do recommend that a student has a complete profile on there. I think that's helpful because if an employer gets onto Handshake and let's say they're like, oh, we're going to do this great event and we're targeting accounting students who might be juniors, they may go onto Handshake and kind of do a search for that. And they'll pull up profiles. And so they'll be able to see what you have on there that is visible to employers. If you have nothing, what's going to let them know that you're someone that they should reach out to and invite to this event that they're planning? So it is really important for you to do that. I always also tell students they don't need to reinvent the wheel most of the time. You can just copy a lot of the information on the profile from your resume. If you have a LinkedIn profile, which you should, a lot of that information is also pretty similar. So you can copy and paste, and while you're completing your Handshake profile, you can already start to fill out your LinkedIn profile. While you're doing your resume, you can use that resume information to fill out your Handshake or LinkedIn. And so that's a great tip that I have for students. Definitely don't have to overthink it.
I love that. Well, would you mind sharing your screen and kind of showing students how they reach their profile and some of the things that they should complete?
Yes. So this is what your homepage will look like when you log into Handshake as a student. So this is my fake student profile. So I'm not going to have all the same things that you all have, but in the homepage, Handshake will try to recommend things to you. For example, things that are popular with students with your major or related to the job roles that you're interested in, as you can see right here. And so they'll try to put stuff right here on the homepage that they want you to pay attention to. So I definitely recommend that. At the top of the page, you'll see a couple really important tabs that we'll go through. Jobs here, events, students, this is actually where you can connect with other students who are on Handshake. That's not limited to just KSU. So students in other universities that are using Handshake who might have maybe done an internship at your top company, you can connect with them. The Career Center is also a really important tab where we have things like how to schedule an appointment and how to complete a Handshake application for internship credit. And then to the right here is where you can see your specific profile. So your initials will be here. If you have a profile picture uploaded, which I definitely recommend, you'll see a little shot of your picture right here. So Nicole, I'm just going to click on the profile and we can start there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll show you how easy it is for you to be able to complete your profile. So it looks like Handshake now has an option where if you upload your resume, it will help kind of fill in some stuff from your resume. So you can definitely check that out.
Okay, well, can you tell us how to effectively search for a job? And if you want to demo it, that'd be great. Or you can.
Great. So I would go to jobs, click on that. And one thing that I do like to recommend when a student is doing a search is don't limit your one search term, because the search term is going to trigger some results based on how that job is programmed in the system, how that employer has maybe put in that job that they're looking for. But every company doesn't always list their positions in the same way. So I would tell people that they should create a list of search terms and then go back to it every time they do a job search and they find more information that they're like, oh, this is something I definitely would like to do. I would add that to that list of search terms. So the other thing too is you don't want to necessarily just limit it only to like, I'm looking for accounting internship. You might do accounting and just look what happens. You can put in entry level, see what pops up. You can put accounting internship. You can put audit internship, tax internship, right? So I would tell people that's my number one tip is to try different search terms and see what might come up because you don't want to limit yourself and miss out on things.
That's a great point.
Another tip specifically for Handshake is that you do want to try to limit location because as you notice here, there's jobs nationally that are companies post onto Handshake. And so you'll see things like in New York, in California, Arizona. You can also use a lot of different filters. If you click on all filters, you'll be able to see things like will sponsor, does not require a U.S. work visa that you can put on. So definitely lots of really great opportunities for students. If you see a job that you are interested in, I do recommend that you go ahead and click on this little bookmark, because when you do that, Handshake will remind you saying, hey, you wanted this job, but you haven't applied for it yet. Sometimes when you apply on Handshake, you can just easily use all the information that's already in your profile. Other times, all you have to do is upload an approved resume. So when it says here, attach your resume, you can't really use resumes that have not been approved here. If you upload a new resume, that's going to go into our system so that we can approve it. And so even if it feels like, hey, I applied to this position, you're going to actually see that that's going to be delayed until that resume is approved. And so that's why we definitely recommend that you get that resume approved as soon as possible.
Yeah, so that goes back to exactly why first step, upload the resume, then complete the profile, and then start looking for the jobs.
Yeah.
Well, so the last question, really for today, honestly, all about Handshake, it's always goes by so fast, is that I would love for you to talk to the students a little bit about other things that they can use Handshake for. And you kind of touched on it, meeting the students, but let's talk particularly about events and why that's so important at this time.
Our events tab is where we are able to post things that are going on, and the purpose of the events that we post on Handshake are things that will allow you to connect with us as a department. So events that'll help prepare you for networking and talking about your skills with employers, as well as events hosted directly by employers so that they can connect with you as well. And these days we have a lot of employers posting so that they can have virtual connection time with you as students. So from the homepage, you can click on events here, or you can just click events here in the middle as well. So if we click on that, you're going to go directly to the homepage of events. You can use different filters here at the top, similar to the jobs. So any event that you see, you can click on it and find out more information. You can also hit this favorite so that you can get reminders about it. So you'll be able to register for an event by clicking whatever link is on here. If it's direct registration through Handshake, some event that we're doing, you can just click register and then one step and you're done. With this event, you'll have to click register and it'll take you to this company's website. Anytime you register for an event, you'll be able to see those events right here on the right-hand side with your schedule.
Oh, I love it. That's so great. Oh my gosh. Wonderful. So, I mean, any last thoughts or advice you want to give before we jump off?
So I think the thing that is probably the most important advice after all this conversation about Handshake is that students should get in there and kind of play around with it. Don't be afraid to explore Handshake and find out the different things that they have on there. And if you do have any questions, if you're like, hey, I've never used Handshake, I don't even know what I'm doing, you can schedule a meeting with us and we'll be happy to walk you through and help you get set up on there as well.
Oh, I love that. And I love spending time with you. I know we will do this again soon, but until then, bye.
Bye.